going to show you what I have to do in order to change out the different plants that I put inside the Dutch Bucket Aquaponics system. Here's a quick look at what that looks like, and you can see next to me there you've got the 3 Dutch Bucket. Dutch Bucket systems work by pumping nutrient solution into each individual bucket that has a drain on the opposite end. When the bucket fills to above the drain, it naturally flows out of the drain, down the long pipe, and back into the reservoir. However, I am using aquaponics, which means fish. So instead of nutrient solution, I'm pumping just fish water into each grow bucket. Once it drains, it flows back through this white drain pipe and back into the fish tank. I've had this system running in my basement for quite a while now, and it's time for a change out. 2 of the plants have already been harvested, and I've then allowed them to produce flowers or bolt. It's time to change them out. So first, what you want to do is you want to get rid of all of the old dead plant material. By taking out the cup, removing all the clay pebbles that are inside the Dutch bucket, I can then get to all of the debris and the things that I want to clean out of this bucket here. Once I've cleaned that out, I want to pour all the rest of the clay pebbles back in because I'm going to get out a new, fresh head of lettuce. You could sow direct seed into a Dutch bucket system. In that case, you would probably want to use something called vermiculite or perlite instead of these clay pebbles that I'm using. However, I have really been wanting to find out if these living lettuces that I get at Kroger could regrow if I put them in the system. They have their roots still connected to the lettuce, so I thought, let's give it a try. So in order to make sure that everything runs smoothly, I've got to turn the flow of the water and the solutions off at the pump. So once I do that, I can remove the black feed tube that runs the nutrient solution into this bucket. I can take it out, I can put the new lettuce in, and then I can check the flow by turning the pump back on to make sure that all of this nutrient solution or fish water is going to get to the roots of this new plant. Once I've reassembled everything and turned the pump back on, I check the flow and we have nutrient solution running through the bucket. You do this whole process a second time and you end up with a beautiful, brand new, ready to roll 3 new plants that you can grow just running on fish water. Well, you might have noticed how green the fish water looks. Well, this was a lesson learned. If I had the opportunity to redesign this system, I would put the aquarium underneath the grow buckets. That way the grow light wouldn't shine directly onto the water and encourage algae to bloom. But I recently bought some snails and some algae eater fish who are going to try to help me take care of that problem. So some of the things I've learned along the way. You do want to be careful about buying store-bought lettuces and then bringing them home to set up in your system, because you could be bringing in pests without really knowing it. I found bugs sometimes in and amongst the roots of some of these lettuces, so you might want to be careful. Also, the lettuces as you see them right now, they're ready to harvest. So I usually let them take root for a little bit, making sure that they've established some of those, growing those new white, clean, beautiful roots. And then I will harvest or chop off the lettuce above the crown of the plant. And if I do that above the crown, then these are going to keep growing back until I let them bolt. So I let them go to flower, and then I can harvest those seeds. Is it cheaper just to buy a pack of seeds? Yes, it is. But I wanted to conduct an experiment and see if this would actually work. Not every store-bought food item is going to reproduce and regrow if you try to plant it. Some food items are treated so that before they get to you at the grocery store, so that they don't reproduce. So you can't do this. I wanted to see if this was possible, and it looks like it's possible. So experiment, results, it works.